Afternoon.
Todd, you're usually known as kind of an even-keeled guy, but after the game, Buccaneers.com put out your post-game speech, which was a pretty loud yeah after the game. Just talk about your emotions after that game.
It was a good win. It was a gritty win. It was the first game of the year. Tough place to play. Not even killed in my mind, but, if you guys say so, that's fine. But you got to let out a yell sometimes.
Todd, the decision to close out at the end, the completion to Godwin, the decision to throw for it on third down instead of just trying to run a little bit more of the clock, is that just confidence in Dave Canales and the players on the field to just kind of stay aggressive and get that knockout?
Yeah, if you want to beat a team like that in their place going up the first game of the year, you can't play it conservative. We wanted to go for the win. We knew that going in. Dave made a great call. Chris is very reliable. He made a great catch. And Baker was playing a good ball game in the second half.
Can you speak to the game Devin White had? It looked really good initially. When you go back and watch the tape, it might be even better in terms of being assignment sound, sniffing out screens, and just tackling with sure hands.
He played fast. He played, him and Levante, and both of them played all over the field. If it wasn't one, it was the other one. They did a good job finding the hider and the bootlegs, and they did a good job cleaning up plays that the D-line set up for them. They did a good job flying around, period. And, both of them had double-digit tackles. Both of them were all over the place. I thought, they really showed their leadership.
As much as the offense struggled for so much of the first half, with that drive right before halftime, you really flipped a switch. I think Baker had 11 yards on his first 12 passes or vice versa, and then 18 of 23 from that point on. Without giving away too much, what do you think flipped the switch for him and for the offense as a whole?
I don't think it was a switch flip. They did some things coming in. First game of the year, new coordinator and everything. You don't see everything. They had some new wrinkles that really gave us problems in the first half. I thought they did a good job. Flores is a good DC. Second half, we made some adjustments. We came out and stuck with the run a little bit. Baker made some plays. We got on the groove, finding some things that we liked against what they did, and, we kind of got on the roll.
For the offensive line, there was one sack allowed, only one or two penalties. What were your thoughts on their play in terms of their pass protection?
I thought they played tough. I thought they did a heck of a job considering all the looks they got. They were sending a lot of pressure all the time. They were almost blitzing every other play, if not every play almost. At least it looked that way. And I thought those guys stood in there. Obviously, technique can get a little better from the first game, but I thought they stood in there tough.
Speaking kind of along those lines, Todd, he spoke of minimal penalties. I think he finished with 3 for only 19 yards. That's kind of surprising for any team in week 1. Can you just speak to that?
Shows progress from the preseason. They kind of went down each game. We don't want to beat ourselves. We harp on that all the time. Sometimes you get those type of ball games, but to start out the season like that on the road with a crowded atmosphere, especially with the noise they bring, and not get any false starts is impressive.
You've had such confidence in Christian Izien to put him in the place, to be a starter at nickel, to play him as much as he did, and then to see him make the pick he had on the goal line. I just want to ask you, when you first noticed him, obviously you know Rutgers football a little better than most NFL coaches probably. When you first noticed him and why you thought he'd be a good fit here?
I noticed him 2 years ago. When I went up to see my son, he just kept flashing, and I didn't know, to the extreme of what he was till I started watching film a little bit more during his senior year, and you just kept seeing the guy. I said, God, this guy does a lot of things. He's very heady, number one. He's very quick. He's very fast, and he's very tough. And he knows the game. To be that young and still in college and know the game, I didn't know we would have a shot at him. And if free agency came in, Jason were talking about it, and we tried to go out and get him.
He didn't necessarily intercept it. He stole the ball, right?
He took it with one hand. He took it with one hand. It was a heady football play on his part. It was a crafty move for a rookie. I give him a lot of credit.
Antoine Winfield makes splash plays for you. Certainly made a huge one yesterday, but can you just speak to how sure of a tackler he is? You play a lot of single high. He is that free safety for you now. It looks like he had 2 touchdown-saving tackles in Jefferson on the first half. Just your confidence in him as a tackler.
Winfield did a lot of things that Winfield does. He got tackles, he got sacks, he caused fumbles, he recovered fumbles, he got PBUs. Very good tackler in space, very good cover guy in space. Like I said, him, Devin, and Levante probably the fastest three guys on the field on our side of the ball. And they played like superstars, and, you know, they practiced like that, so they played like that.
Your special teams, to have Chase hit a 57-yarder, I think Jake averaged 54 on 6 punts, and seemed to have really good coverage on punting as well. How pleased are you to see special teams be a strength in this?
It's huge. It was real big because we had a lot of young guys out there, you know, playing for the first time. It's kind of the puppy pound. You're getting out there, running down. You know they're going to make their mistakes, but you know they're going to make them full speed. I thought they showed good composure. I thought they ran and made some plays on the kickoff and punt team. And for the most part, the kickers did an outstanding job, so that helped us win the ball game.
On the touchdown to Addison, what happened on that play that made him so open?
We busted the coverage.
Todd, to have Cansey go off with the calf again, do you have a sense how significant that is, or how long he might be sidelined by that?
Not at this time, I don't. I'm still checking it out.
How do you feel that Mike Evans played in yesterday's game?
I thought Mike played well. I mean, you can say he could have got the slant play and he could have ran for, but Mike played well. He commands a double team. You know, he bided his time. We started going to him more in the second half, and he cashed in for us.
You made a commitment to the run, didn't necessarily get a lot of yards. When you look back, what did you see in the run game?
I thought they were tough runs, considering the fronts they were playing and trying to take away, and they kind of had an extra guy every time. The run doesn't always have to be pretty. You know, if you can get 33 runs in, it keeps the defense off the field some. It keeps them out there longer. It keeps them honest and keeps them off of Baker some. So it has a double fold. You know, the amount of carries are just as important as the yardage, if not more important. So if we can stay with that and kind of stay balanced, it kind of keeps everybody in the game.
With Nelly and Yaya playing 25 and 26 snaps, what does that do to have guys that can come in and play that amount of snaps that help JTS and Shaq, not just in the game, but long-term over the season, where you really have a solid rotation of 4 edge rushers?
Keeps them fresh at the end of the ball game. You know, we can get fresh rushers in there. If Shaq and JTS get a break early, they can be fresh at the end of the ball games. Those guys get an experience in case injuries happen, and those guys can go in and play. So it's twofold.
Are you used to seeing Nelly go in there? He had the fewest of any of your 4 edge rushers in terms of snaps, but maybe the most impactful 3 tackles and a big sack for you.
Nelly's doing Nelly things.
I imagine you're not surprised by anything Tristan Wirfs does at this point, but just how seamlessly he seems to have made that transition. Does it surprise you?
I'm sure he wouldn't say it was seamless, but it doesn't surprise me because he's a competitor. He's a football player. He just wants to win, and he'll do whatever he can for the team and whatever he can to win. He was fired up yesterday. He was excited to play, and he played a heck of a ball game.
On an advanced look on the Bears, the last time they came in here, I think it was Justin Fields' rookie season. You guys kind of took advantage of that, 38-3, a big win. What's the early take on this Bears team with Fields? How has he progressed as a quarterback? And aside from his legs, what type of challenges does he present for you guys?
Honestly, still haven't delved into him deep enough yet, but just judging by the preseason from the games I saw anywhere early on, a lot more comfortable in the pocket, a lot better passer than people trying to give him credit for. He can throw from the pocket. We already know he can run. He gets their rushing game going twofold, so we're going to have to be very disciplined.
And you're obviously going to be excited to play at home, but what does it mean to come home 1-0 and probably have a few more fans at Raymond James Stadium this week as a result of that good start for you?
It's always great to get off a good start, win the first game, especially on the road. Home crowd, we expect to be loud. Everybody come out and support us.
Good. Thanks.
Thanks.